The Six Faithful Servants. Once upon a time, in a kingdom veiled in mystery and magic, there lived a powerful sorceress queen. She had a daughter so stunningly beautiful that even the stars above seemed to shine a little brighter when she smiled. Yet, the queen had wrapped her daughter's heart behind trials of impossible tasks. Whoever wished to marry the princess had to complete these tasks, and failure meant never returning. As word of the princess's beauty spread across distant lands, it eventually reached the ears of a young prince. From the moment he heard her tale, his heart was captured. "Father," he pleaded gently, "let me try to win her heart." But the king, fearing the dangerous trials, refused. "My son," he said gravely, "no beauty is worth losing you. Yet love has a way of planting roots deep within the heart." The prince became ill from longing. Days turned into months, and months into years. For 7 long years, he lay in bed, his spirit slowly withering. Nothing cured him, not herbs, not spells, not prayers. At last, the sorrowful king gave in. "Go, my son," he whispered, "but take care. Return to me with your life." With hope blooming once more, the prince began his journey. He traveled through thick forests and crossed whispering rivers. One morning, deep in the woods, he spotted a man lying on the ground. His belly was so large it resembled a small hill. "Who are you?" asked the prince. "I am the one who drinks the sea," the man answered. "I can drink more than any river can carry." The prince invited him along. Further on, they found a man lying with his ear pressed to the ground. "What do you hear?" asked the prince. "Everything," the man said. "From the whispers of the wind to footsteps miles away. I am the listener." He too joined the group. Soon they came across a man with his eyes covered. "Why the blindfold?" the prince wondered. "I see too much," he replied. "Through mountains and oceans, across skies and caves. I am the Farseer." And he joined the company as well. Not long after, they encountered a man basking in the sunlight. "What is your gift?" asked the prince. "My body burns with the sun. No cold can harm me. I am the heat bearer." He was welcomed with open arms. Later, they found a man with an impossibly long neck, his head disappearing into the trees above. "I am the tall one," he said, smiling. "I can reach the stars if I must." He too joined the journey. With 6 extraordinary companions, the prince arrived at the queen's castle. When the queen saw the determined young man before her, she smiled slyly. "You wish to marry my daughter?" she asked. "Then complete 3 tasks. Fail, and you lose her forever." The first task was to retrieve a golden ring from the depths of the Red Sea. Without hesitation, the man who drinks the sea gulped down the entire ocean, leaving its floor dry and bare. The Farseer pointed out the exact location of the ring. The tall one leaned in and gently picked it up. The task was done. The queen frowned. "Impressive, but not enough. Now," she said, "eat an ox weighing 300 pounds and drink a barrel with 300 liters of wine." The prince turned to his heat-bearing friend. With ease, the man devoured the ox, and with one long breath, he drank every drop of the wine. The second task was complete. The queen narrowed her eyes. "Final task," she said coldly. "You must hold my daughter in your arms and stand awake all night. When the clock strikes midnight, I will come to see if you are still awake. If you sleep, you will never see her again." The prince nodded. That evening, he entered the princess's chamber. She was silent but radiant, glowing like the moonlight that streamed through the window. He held her gently, not uttering a word. As the night crept on, they gazed at each other. Though no words passed between them, something unspoken danced in their eyes. Curiosity, wonder, perhaps even love. But just before midnight, the queen released a cloud of enchanted sleep dust over the room. The prince, the princess, In the servants standing guard, all fell into a deep slumber. Silent as a shadow, the queen took her daughter away. When the listener awoke moments later, he pressed his ear to the air and whispered, "Silence, please. I hear her. She's sitting on a stone, 300 leagues from here." The farseer nodded and raced off with lightning speed. Before the clock struck 12, he returned with the princess in his arms. She was safe and back in the room. At midnight, the queen entered, expecting triumph, but her eyes widened in disbelief when she saw her daughter exactly where she had left her. The princess leaned in and whispered, "Mother, I believe this man is no prince. Surely, he must be just a commoner." The next day, the princess tested the prince once more. She lit 300 logs in a fiery circle. "Only the man who truly loves me will sit in the heart of this fire and not burn," she declared. Without fear, the prince walked into the flames and sat still. The fire licked at his clothes, but he did not flinch. Thanks to the heat bearer, who took his place using magic, the flames could not harm him. The princess gasped. Her heart stirred with something she could not name. That day, she agreed to marry him. They headed for the chapel, but the queen, furious, sent guards to bring her daughter back. The servants stood firm. Not a single step was allowed backward. The wedding took place, and joy filled the land. Afterward, the prince took the princess to a humble inn. "Do you know who I really am?" he asked softly. "I am just a shepherd, nothing more." The princess looked at him in silence. He gently took her royal gown and sent it ahead to his true home. The next evening, he brought her to a magnificent palace. When she entered, golden light lit the grand halls. There, in royal robes, stood her husband. It was only when she touched his hands that she realized this man, her husband, had always been the prince. Her heart melted. It was the most beautiful gift she could have ever received. And so they lived happily ever after, not because of magic or wealth, but because of courage, loyalty, and love. Moral of the story: determination, loyalty, and a pure heart will always find a way. No task is too great when one dares to dream and never gives up.